Hello, peeps. This is the Hillbilly Halfwit. How are you today? Pissing down outside, I gotta say. But what we're going to talk about today is something that I've just found on Facebook, and I'm absolutely 100% sure it's right. Now, if you've been following UK politics for the last 6 months, you'll realise that Labour were going to cancel the elections, council elections and mayoral elections in the UK. Well, I just noticed this morning. So if reform people are watching this, you need to tell your reform people. So here we are. So I haven't got it all on here, I'm afraid, for some reason. After weeks of gathering mixed messages, Labour has finally admitted the obvious: the borough elections will go ahead. Democracy shouldn't rely on last minute U turns. Some councillors have been sleepwalking. Oh, I obviously didn't put that bit in. So, governance and structure. Minister confirms all council elections to go ahead. This was on the 5th of December 2025 by Sarah Colkin. All scheduled council elections will go ahead in 2026, and Minister has confirmed. Hold on. And in months of speculation and uncertainty, with two-tier areas and many neighbouring unitaries going through the local government reorganisation and set to elect a new shadow unitaries in 2027. What is that word? Unitaries. Never heard that word before. Questions had been raised about the value of holding elections in those places in 2026. So I asked ChatGPT about this because I didn't want to make a cock up. I'm going to make sure this is right. And I said, does this mean all local elections are back on in the UK? Short answer. Remember, this is a supercomputer, no bias in any way. So the elections that were off last week are all back on in the UK. Short answer, yes. According to the article you've shown, the UK government has confirmed that all scheduled council elections for 2026 will go ahead. Here's what the piece is saying in plain terms. What the article confirms: a minister has officially stated that every scheduled local council election in 2026 will take place as planned. The announcement ends a period of uncertainty where some people thought elections might be postponed because some areas are being reorganised into new council unitaries. Some were due to elect shadow authorities in 2027. Why there was confusion. In areas undergoing reorganisation, there was questions like, is it worth holding elections in 2026 if the councils will be replaced soon? Will the government cancel or merge some elections? The minister's statement answers that no cancellations, all 2026 council elections are going ahead. Does this apply across the whole of the UK? The article is referring to England specifically because it mentions two-tier authorities and unitary reorganisations, a system not used in Wales, Scotland or Northern Ireland. Here's a breakdown. England, yes, all scheduled local elections in 2026 will proceed. That has really changed because I heard Rees-Mogg talking about this the other day, and he said it's a disgrace that they were closing them. So this is a good thing. Wales, it sounds like in Wales, Wales is already operating this fixed 5-year cycle that wasn't part of this uncertainty. Welsh council elections are due in 2027 unless the Senedd changes the law. Wouldn't be surprised there. Scotland has its own schedule. Next elections 2027. Northern Ireland follows its own electoral cycle. Next local elections are 2027. So your question, does this mean all local elections are back on in the UK? In England, yes, everything planned for 2026 is going ahead. The rest of the UK wasn't affected. So just to make sure that this is right, I said, so the mayor's elections and the ones Reform said were not being held are actually back on now. Short answer, yes. The government has now confirmed that the mayoral elections and the other local elections people thought might be cancelled are going ahead after all. Here's what's happened in simple terms. What Reform UK had been saying, Reform highlighted that Labour ministers were hesitating over whether to hold certain borough, council and mayoral elections in 2026, sending mixed messages during the reorganisation of the council into unitaries, creating a real doubt about whether people in those areas would actually get a vote. And that was true at the time. So last week, this was true because they were going to cancel elections for up to 2 years because they were afraid of Reform getting them. So it seems like all the people talking online and saying this was anti-democratic have actually forced them to change this. And that was true at the time. There was genuine uncertainty with talk of postponements. What the new announcement means, the article you posted clearly shows a U-turn by the government. All scheduled council election for 26 will go ahead. This includes all areas in transition to new unitary authorities. It also includes mayoral and combined authority elections that follow the same electoral cycle. That means the elections Reform said would be not held or at risk are now officially back on. The minister has closed the issue by confirming all scheduled council elections will go ahead in 2026. In practical terms, this means local council ward elections are happening. Police and crime commissioner style local votes, where tied to the cycle, are happening. Metro Mayor combined authority mayoral elections scheduled for 2026 are happening. No blanket cancellations due to reorganisation confirmed. Why this matters, it shows that the government was considering delaying or scrapping some elections. Public and political pressure, including Reform highlighting it, has forced them to confirm that the elections must proceed. So that is good. That is very good. Well done to everybody putting pressure on the government or the civil service, because this is happening now. So all them cancelled elections are back on. So look out. So please comment, rate, and subscribe, and hype if it's down there. All the best, guys.